Hey, what's up? Big Earl here, northtownsound. Happy Canada Day, everybody. My plans fell through, so decided I had to do some other stuff. Had to work on this thing. This is my Traynor TS-25, and I figured, how much more Canadian can you get than a Traynor? So, gotta open this up and clean it. So, thought we'd talk about the Traynor TS series. Didn't think about shooting anything until after I got it out of the cab, which was a pig. So we're going to take a look-see at this, talk a little bit about Traynor, shall we? A lot of people are getting into Traynors now, like they're some secret little brand. The TS Transistor series, common as dirt in this neck of the woods. One of the greatest things I ever read about Traynors is that in some sections of Canada, Traynor amps are used in place of like milk crates instead of like end tables or holding up things in the garage. Yeah, it's a TS. It's being used, really common. Man, this thing is just filthy. Haven't been using it much lately, so need to do a bit of work. My buddy Gordy D. Hey Gord, how's it going? He told me back in the late 70s, early 80s, if you were looking for a bass rig, he was out of Toronto. You go to every single store and all you would find are the TS's and the mono blocks. Very rarely you'd ever find like an SVT or whatever. And it was that way for years until, you know, the 800 RBs started coming out and stuff. And Peavey came to Canada. All you'd find are Traynors. So years ago I had a YBM head. That got ripped. But actually I like the transistor ones better. They're kind of weird amps. The one-trick ponies, one hell of a good trick. So what you're basically looking at here, 25 watts obviously, high-low inputs, always trust amps with high-low inputs and learn to use them. You got a bright switch, which also acts as a gain switch on this thing. I usually have it on. We have the gain, we got bass, we got treble, you got reverb, and it's a really nice reverb that's on this thing actually, and it's another one where it's tucked up instead of Fender style, tucked down, then your master volume. Power switch. Cool thing on the back. Tells Canadian, you got the French, you got the English. Brilliant idea Traynor had with these that I'm not an electronics expert. I don't understand why more companies didn't do this. It doesn't have a fuse. It's got a circuit breaker. Brilliant move. When these things die, they tend to die either because the caps go on them or because they've been sitting in somebody's garage for 10 years. So obviously solid state, kind of an interesting way that they do this. Again, I don't know electronics, but I do understand enough. So we have a power section complete with a coil, which is a little weird. Your preamp wiring is with the pots. Crappy pots. You always find these things busted off. So they're all in there. And I might have to dig in there because there's something going on with the treble control. And then there's the tank, which is actually an Accutronics and an American one, which is strange. And again, little tiny single springs, a little loose. I should tighten that a bit. Pretty straightforward. So if you're into the guts on amps, that's the guts on the amps. So that's the preamp board. It'll give you a lot of room here. It's a very interesting board, how they did the soldering on it. It's almost like a 70s style board. You'd see back on old MXRs or something. That's kind of neat. Kudos to R. Nice job, buddy. Nice job. Or person, I should say. And where is it there? PB? So I guess PB put this together. There's a really thoughtful touch here. Shooting this with the iPad, so it was really difficult, but that's nice. It even tells you what kind of circuit breaker to swap it with. It's got some stickers typed up by the secretary there. That's pretty awesome in my books. Pig. It's kind of interesting the way that this is cobbled. Cobbled's not the correct word. This is built well, but there is definitely a touch of home style to this, ain't this? But all the caps seem to be fine. Thing seems to be ready to explode. So, I think I just have a Ghibli pot here. So, Just got to do a little bit of cleaning here, and then I got to scrub this thing because it's gross. Apparently this isn't dirty. There's something going on with the paint. Where's my thumb? On the faceplate. You can see that. It's trying to come off. So, I guess just a little bit of soap and water. I can't really clean it with too much else. So, what the heck's causing that to happen? Okay, I am officially perplexed by this. Rubbing alcohol is taking it off. So, yeah, I guess just water's all I'm going to be able to do. Late 70s, it shouldn't be latex, but I mean, just look at... That's insane. Oh well, it's not like... It's about the sounds, who cares about the looks? Yeah, this was like $40 when I got it a couple of years back. Again, they're like rocks around here, right? When you find them working, econo. A little bit of deductive sleuthing here. So one knob is fading with the isopropyl. The others are fine. I'm wondering if somebody had sprayed this with something a bunch of years ago and it's reacting over time. Cool knobs. One of these years I'm going to find a dead one of these amps. I'm going to steal these knobs for a guitar. They just look awesome. So the cabinet's cleaned. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely some ply in there. Original speaker. I always heard that the company that made these speakers actually would do like home stereo speakers and car speakers. The Achilles heel on these things. One of these years I'll change this off to Weber or something like that. But yeah, just clean this up a bit just in case. Didn't want to show the video of the nastiness, but grab yourself. One tip I can give you. Get some canned air, wherever the canned air is. Just, we'll do a little more. Just to blow out in and around the cone, just get right in there. Do that, usually helps a bit. Ooh, dust bunnies, gross. Definitely was a little dustier around front. But this is what I mean, you can tell it's not the highest quality speakers on these things. So if you ever buy an old Traynor, usually with these things you end up where it's the cones just rotted on these darn things. There's not much you can do. This one outside of a couple of dings is okay. Like I said, one of these years I'll change this off here. So hopefully that focuses, but whatever was happening with the front plate, it's definitely been happening over time because that's actually stained onto the to the ribbing of the speaker panel. It's really odd. So that's interesting. Maybe Traynor was using latex stuff. Just before I put this back together, paper transformer. That's the other thing that goes on these things. That's what kind of fearing's happening with this one. Definitely uglier than when I started. That is so weird. I wonder what's doing that. Anyways, let's fire this bad boy up, shall we? This new camera I got sure does the fisheye lens thing. Can't seem to figure out how to not have to do that. This crazy new world of cameras, but whatever. It's an amp, you get the idea. It's just to show me playing knobs. And playing today, it's Canada Day, so what the heck, let's play something Canadian. So, this here's Ron. It's my Godin SD. I really like this guitar. This is a really good guitar for just messing around and doing the guitar wanking with, I find. Like it a lot, except it's got a whammy, so it twangs. A lot of people really don't understand why the TS's aren't as revered as they are in some circles in Canada. Why they're like the end tables in the jam space. Why they get delegated out to the garage and stuff. Well, there's a pretty simple reason. I got this right now, it's on 4. Okay, on both the volume and the gain. So... So, sounds clean. That's pushing about 85 decibels according to the little meter thing there. Sounds okay. Doesn't sound brilliant or anything like that. Reverb. I'm just going to turn up the reverb. Yeah, that's probably enough. Nice dwell to it, a little bright. Gain's on at 4, so we crank the gain up. It's around 8 or so, and again, this is relatively quiet. I mean, it sounds like an amp. It's nothing that sounds super spectacular. I had the bright switch on again because I like that extra gain. Let me just reset things here, folks. I'm going to show you why people go after these things. So I got the volume on this thing on 9. The gain's back on 4. Adjusted the recording settings. The earplugs in. This amp does the weirdest thing when you turn it up. It becomes huge sounding for what it is. We're now hitting 100 decibels on things, so it's loud in here for what it is, you know what I mean? So again, 4 gain. If we turn this up, oh yeah. I actually didn't know these things became that massive sounding when you crank them up, because normally you would find them and you'd be playing at like, you know, really low volume. You were never playing at like, it would never occur to people to do that, so. So what do I use this thing for? Let me swap axes here and I'll show you. Oh yeah, swapped over to Dominic here. Turn back the gain a little bit. This is what I use this thing for. It's for that. It sounds so cool for that. So we're just going to kick that in and get a little fuzzier. Although, you really don't need the distortion to do that, it just kind of smoothens it out a So you get the idea. Um, yeah. So the whole thing with this amp is the strangest thing. You really gotta crank the volume on it, and it's pushing just past 100 decibels right now. Getting kicked out of your house kind of gain. I've only got the gain on 7. When you diamond it, just kind of smushes. But fun amp. Loud hiss. Let me get rid of that. So yeah, fun amp. You can understand why people want these things. Really glad I got this thing. It's definitely had a lot of recording hours with me. Again, it's got to be cranked though to get anything good out of it. Total stoner metal guitar, which is fun. Wish stoner metal existed when I was a stoner. Anyways, so there you go. Happy Canada Day. Hopefully you learned a couple things. You got to see inside an amp anyways. If you dug the sound of the pedal there, because I sure do. Got tons more pedals like that over at my store, northtownsound.com. Or if you prefer, over on Reverb, that's reverb.com/shop/northtownsound. Probably can't make out the pick, it won't focus, but whatever. Again, shill them, whatever, that's what this channel's for, man. Let a fat guy sell you some pedals. Anyways, there you go. Big Earl, Northtown Sound. Take her easy, eh? Happy Canada Day. Have one for the old girl. Later.